Hello everybody, it's me, it's PokemonTripHD. Welcome back to some more Dragalia content. In today's video, we're going to be going over Gala Luca. Wow, just say that out loud. Gala Luca is finally here. Like, it's no longer a meme. Also gotta X that out, that's weird. It's no longer a meme. Gala Luca is finally here, and it's about time, honestly. Luca has really not gotten the recognition he deserves when it comes to Dragalia Lost, and I feel like with this new alt, this new Luca alt, he's finally no longer a meme. He's been a meme for the longest time, so yeah, I'm glad he actually has this alt. He was actually a big, important part of the most recent Dragalia Lost chapter. I feel like he got a lot of characterization there, and a lot of good, not really background to him, but like support to his character, and I really did like that. So anyways, Gala Luca is here. He's a light blade. We're going to be discussing him in this little preview snippet today. And whether you should summon or not. Now, I do want to mention quickly, before we actually get into the Gala Luca discussion, that there are new Mana Spiral adventures. It's not for Light, though. It's for Shadow. And they also, Yuji Okada addressed the adjustments with Mana Spirals. I do want to quickly go over this just for like a minute or 2 minutes, just because I feel like this is kind of big news. I don't really want to make a whole separate video on, so might as well discuss this very quickly. Also, again, I do want to apologize for the lack of videos the past couple weeks. I was sick earlier. I'm still a little bit sick. I have a little bit of a cough left over, so that's the reason that I'm just a little bit sick. But again, I do want to apologize about that, but I'm back. I'm better than not better than ever. I'm still a little sick, but I'm doing better now. So yeah, anyways, he basically says that in January there's more 5-star adventures. There's going to be 3- and 4-star in February, so wait a little longer for that. So we might actually be getting light I was gonna say light MG, not light MG, light Agito in February. There's a chance for that happening, so stay tuned. Maybe we're gonna be getting that, which would be really interesting, because we're getting a lot of Shadow, because they say they're going to do 3- and 4-star Shadow attuned in February. So we might be getting something Agito light related for that. We'll be able to see once that's actually out. And then they say they're doing that so they can increase damages to poison enemies, blah, 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 blah. They basically want to make it so that Glaio is not reigning supreme, but I feel like this isn't really the right way to go about that. You're making poison a better team comp, but like, what about bosses that can't be poisoned? Or like, none of these units are really self-sufficient besides, I guess, Delphi. You can use Delphi with like Glaio, I guess, but like none of these units are self-sufficient, and you're probably still going to want to run Glaio on your team anyway. So yeah, I don't know. I don't personally like these changes that they're doing. However, I do think all these units that they did upgrade needed upgrade. Karen definitely needs it. Heinwald 100% needs it. Lathna didn't need it. However, Lathna was already good, and I feel like this is going to make her even better. Like, she's going to be absolutely ridiculous with this update. Like, she's gonna absolutely maul down poison enemies, especially with this buff. Increased damage to poison enemies, like that's absolutely ridiculous. And of course, Delphi himself got a buff as well, but it's not a big buff, but he did get a buff, so that is something to note. And then, of course, Patia, the angel, has the buff as well. I really like Patia's buff. She increases strength now as well by 15%, which 50%, overall, it's not that much. But you have to remember, she's going to be all support. She's entire support. She allows for Valiant Crown compositions. She increases strength. And with both of those for 15 seconds, you also have buff time plus 35%, prime devastation. She poisons. Oh, and she doesn't poison. Wait. No, she inflicts bleeding. She doesn't poison. She inflicts bleeding, though. But, yeah, all those things together, I think Patia is going to be actually pretty solid. In my opinion, maybe I just like her a lot, and that's a little bit of bias. But, yeah, overall, I like these changes, but I don't think they're going about, removing Glaio from the meta in the right way. Just want to go over that. Anyways, now let's actually discuss the main thing in today's video, Gala Luca. So, let's actually go over the details of the Gala Dragalia first. Of course, Gala Dragalia is limited. Oh, sorry about that. Like I said, I still have a little bit of a cough, but Gala Dragalia is limited. It begins this reset. Oh, I'm dying. All right, it begins this reset tonight at 10 p.m. Pacific time. The appearance rates are increased to 6%. So if you're wondering if you should summon or not, the answer will always be yes. It's always going to be yes when it comes to Gala Dragalia. Gala Dragalia is the single best place to spend your Wormites when it comes to summoning, because you will get more 5-stars for your Wormite on average. Now, of course, you can be below average and get way less, but on average, you will get more 5-stars for your Wormite with these boosted appearance rates, as well as having a lot of limited time Gala Dragalia characters available to be summoned only on these Gala Dragalia banners. Now, if you're a newer player and you don't have Gala Glaio, I highly recommend you do summon, because Gala Glaio is single-handedly, also that was a big bear, single-handedly the best unit in the game, and she'll probably stay the best unit in the game for a very long time. Now, of course, if you don't have her, again, I recommend you do summon for her. At least, spend somewhere on this banner. Give yourself at least a chance to get her. We don't know if we're getting any free summons yet. We might be getting free summons in the future, but right now we have no idea if we're getting any free summons. So, I really recommend you do a little bit of summoning if you don't have God Cleo. However, if you're more of a veteran player and you're trying to decide if you should summon or not, you have to remember Monster Hunter will likely appear on the 28th at reset right when this banner is done. We will likely be getting Monster Hunter, and that will feature limited units, of course, including Berserker, which we already know is coming. And if you do want to summon a little bit, maybe wait until the 23rd at reset, because we're going to be getting more Monster Hunter news then. They did announce on the 23rd at reset we'll be getting more news then, so you might want to wait till that time. Or maybe wait till the 27th/28th before the banner is done for news on the actual Monster Hunter banner. That's also another smart idea you might want to do. Wait till then. Give yourself the most information whether you want to summon or not. And also see how good Gala Luca actually is. Because everything I'm going to talk about in this video is pure speculation whether how good I think he is going to be. Now, let's actually discuss Gala Luca's self, like what he actually is. Also, I want to mention Monster Hunter is coming up, and after that we're probably getting Valentine, so 2 limited banners coming up right after this. So, and of course Gala Luca will always be on the Gala banners after this. So again, those might be factors determining whether you want to summon or not. Anyways, Gala Luca, I vow to create a world we can all enjoy together. If you play through the latest story, you obviously know what he's talking about, RIP. But all right, so attack unit Gala Luca, 517 strength is very high. I believe that's still under Yasu's strength, but that is very, very high. Might and HP don't really matter too much. Wielding his friend's blade as a symbol of their promise and clad in gear forged from the hands of many races. Luca endeavors to create a world where no one has to fight. And to do that, he's going to have to fight. Now, so Luca, again, the blade, I love this art. His art, honestly, looks amazing. Like, all the Gala Dragalia characters, art looks beautiful. I really like Luca's alt. I keep saying all art. It looks great. I like this little touch on his cheeks. Those little, I don't know what those are, like Sylvan scars or something like that on his cheek. I think it's like base paint. I really like that. I think it looks really nice. This animation right here really reminds me of like super like slick guy, like Ayasu. Reminds me of Ayasu. Like he goes, boom, and just like you're hurt like that, and then he puts it right back, and then you get hurt or something like that. It looks really cool. I like the art a lot. Now, he's a light blade. His competition is mainly Yachio. Beautician Zardan is pretty trash. Hanabusa is okay, not amazing. He's okay. But his main competition is Yachio. So how does he fare against Yachio? I'm going to be discussing that right now. Now let's discuss his skills. Shining Slash deals light damage to enemies in a line. The skill's crit rates increased by 10% for each buff with a different icon applied to the user. So a different icon is kind of weird. Like, why does it have to be a different icon? I don't know. It's kind of weird. But they basically don't want you to stack like a bunch of strength buffs and then you just do like incredible crit rate chance. They don't want you to do that. So I understand that, but it's kind of weird, I feel like. But again, you should be able to get, I would say, two crit icons up constantly in High Zod, which is where you're going to be using him. You probably get around 2. I would say maybe more, maybe less. Depends how you're going. Maybe 3, something like that. And this is, we don't know the modifiers on this skill exactly. However, from the video that was uploaded, this modifier is supposed to be around 1000%. Now, that might be not including crits, of course. If you get crits, that's where his kit's really going to shine with crits. I'll talk about the crit stuff in a minute. Let me just discuss the skill 2. Adds 80% to the modifier applied to the user's crit damage for 10 seconds. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't ready his skill 1 for use. If it did, this would be absolutely ridiculous. If you don't even know any skill that readies your skill for use, look at Floor, look at Joaquin. They're both really, really strong. Any skill that you can do that with automatically puts you above like you're at least going to be A tier as a unit. Like there's no way you're going to be under A tier for a unit. So, but unfortunately it doesn't do that. It just straight up adds 80% to the modifier to crit damage. So you want to use this right before you use your skill 1. It remains to be seen how low this SP cost is. Will you be able to charge the skill 1 twice in those 10 seconds? If you can, that is ridiculous. Also, maybe you charge this every single time your skill 1 is ready. That would be something else also. That'd be really good. It remains to see how the SP costs are, though. If they're low SP costs, if this is under 3,000. If it's 3,000 or under, he's going to be really good. Why do I say 3,000? Well, he's a blade. Blades gain 1,500 SP per 5 chains. So if it's 3,000 or under, it means in 2 5 chains, you'll be able to charge up his skill 1 for use. And that is going to be very important if he can do that. If he cannot do that, that's going to put him a little bit below where he would want to be. But if you can, that's going to be very, very strong for him. Code ability is natural strength plus 10%. His actual abilities, now these are kind of, well, this first one at least is a little bit weird. Increases Luca's crit rate by 4% for every buff with a different icon applied to him, up to 28%, which means, 28 divided by 4, that's 7. I think I did math right there. So you need 7 different icons to get up to 28%. In addition, applies one of the following buffs to Luca every time one of his attacks is a critical hit. And of course, Luca is going to be critting a lot with the different icon stuff, his skill 1, etc. I believe it's skill 1, right? Yeah, the skill's crit rate is increased by, wait, no, skill 1 doesn't do anything. Never mind. Take that back. So you basically want to get a bunch of different buffs on him so that this can be increasing his crit rate, etc. It's going to increase the damage off of skill 1, get a bunch of different buffs on him. Now these buffs, there's really like Gala, in high Zod, Gala Yuden will give you a strength buff, but actually what else is going to give you a different buff? Like if you think about it, it's just Gala Yuden, right? Like what other buffs do you get? Gala Yuden, that's like it, right? Floor, I don't know if Floor gives the team crit. I don't think she does though. So it's really just that. And I guess he gives himself crit damage. So there's something else as well. Maybe this is going to increase your crit rate. Like it's going to show it on the thing, and that would be 3. I don't know. It remains to be seen on that front. But in addition, applies one of the buffs to Luke every time one of his attacks is a critical hit. Sylvan Secret Arts, Human Wisdom, and Rock-On Expertise. Each of these buffs increases Luca's crit rate by 3% for 20 seconds. That's actually a really long time. Only one instance of each buff can be active at the same time. After activating this ability, it will not activate again for 3 seconds. So I'm assuming you get Sylvan Secret Arts. 3 seconds later, you get Human Wisdom. And 3 seconds later, you get Rock-On Expertise, which can increase your crit rate by 9% total if you get all 3 of them active. Now, it's going to take you 9 seconds to get all 3 of them active, but you should be critting a lot with Luca's skills. Unfortunately, the blades, I'll discuss that actually in a second. I was going to say blades have a slow animation, which means Flurry Devastation is going to be it's going to take you a little bit to get there. But this is, of course, I believe this Flurry Devastation is not in 8, or it is in 8, and it's not actually on the buffs at the bottom. That's what I believe, so this will not count as a buff on the bottom, I believe. But yeah, Flurry Devastation is there. That is pretty good. Flurry Devastation is actually, it's a lot better than having something random that didn't really help him, like, I don't know, some random thing that doesn't help him, like skill haste, or like skill haste plus 6% or something. Like, Flurry Devastation is definitely much better than that, I would say at least. Next up, Unforgettable Promise 2. Now, usually, Gala characters have a history of getting double, like, poison and curse res. However, Luca does not have that. He has just susceptibility to curse by 100%. When the user is hit by an attack that would have cursed them, their crit rate is increased by 15% for 10 seconds. After activating, this buff will not activate again for 15 seconds. So, this is basically going to be, in high Zod, the very first hit in the game, you're going to get a crit rate buff. And then that crit rate buff is going to buff up your crit rate from this thing. And then you can use your skill 1, which is going to buff that up even more. Because again, crit rate buffed up by 10% for each buff with a different icon applied to the user. So you're basically, the beginning of the fight, you're going to have a lot of DPS. And then it's going to go down until maybe if you use his 2 skills at the beginning as well, it's going to increase your crit rate and crit damage, etc. Basically, his entire kit revolves around critting his skill 1. That's basically his entire kit. Now, I would say this kit is a lot less, I don't know the word. I would say not really reliable, because you're definitely going to get a lot of crits. But you do need to get crits on your skill 1. If you don't get crits on your skill 1, you're not going to be super strong, which is, again, his main DPS is getting crits off his skill 1. Because, again, crit damage, crit rate, etc. You need crits off his skill 1. If this skill 2 was an attacking skill, he would be a lot less reliant on critting skill 1. But since it's not, he definitely needs to crit that skill 1 a lot. I just feel like he relies too much on crits, and it's a very weird kit. I wouldn't say he's going to be Glaio broken. He's definitely not going to be Glaio broken. Glaio is a special case. She buffs, she debuffs. Glaio's like off the charts. He's not going to be Glaio broken. Will he be better than Gala Yuden, though? I think, yes, he will have more personal DPS than Gala Yuden, because, again, Gala Yuden is a buffer. Gala Yuden does not DPS himself. He's a buffer. Gala Luca, however, is a DPS. He will DPS. He's an attack unit as well. Lots of strength. He's a blade. Blades have a history of being great at DPSing. I think he's going to be a good DPSer. Another thing to note is that he doesn't rely on paralysis, whereas Yachio does rely on paralysis to actually get the main chunk for DPS. Also means that if you use him instead of Yachio on a standard composition of like say Mitsuhide, Gala Luca, double Gala units, very standard composition. Again, you can use Malora instead of a Gala unit, but very standard composition with those four. That means only Mitsuhide can para, which means you're gonna have a lot of para uptime on Mitsuhide's para, because again, she only paras with her skill 1, meaning you can para for a longer amount of duration throughout the fight, whereas if you're running, say, Mitsuhide and a Yachio, you're going to have a lot more paralysis going on in the fight, which means you're going to run dry the paras super quickly within the first couple minutes of the fight, like 2 minutes of the fight. Paras are going to be gone, like not even 2 minutes, probably even before that. Paras are going to be done and gone, and you're not going to be able to para again, and you're going to miss out a lot of DPS from, let's say, Spirit of the Season and those para Punisher that Mitsuhide, Floor, and Yachio all possess. So that's another good thing that Gala Luca presents. That's probably his biggest upside, that he does not rely on paralysis to have good DPS. He's going to have good DPS without paralysis. Now, of course, you can run Spirit of the Season on him if you're running a para unit on the team. That's going to increase DPS even more, because again, his print combination is probably going to be something like Resounding Rendition, Levin's Champion, or if you're running a para unit, Resounding Rendition, Spirit of the Season, you could run Worm Clan Duo. I actually forgot to buy a copy of Worm Clan Duo. I was just talking about this in Discord. Hilarious. I forgot to buy Worm Clan Duo. But yeah, you could buy Worm Clan Duo. If you don't know what Worm Clan Duo does, it's skill damage plus 30%, and then crit damage plus 17%. So it's going to be very good, because again, he's going to have great crit rate anyways with his ability here, and then this ability there, and plus flurry devastation. He's going to have a lot of crit rate anyways, so you probably want to have crit damage instead of Resounding Rendition. So Worm Clan Duo could be a very strong slot in instead of Resounding Rendition. But again, that's kind of my thoughts on him. I do think he's going to be good. They haven't released a bad Gala unit yet. Every single Gala unit has been at least, usable. So I do think Gala Luca will be usable over Yachio and probably slot over her. First Floor got replaced. Now Yachio's getting replaced. Gala unit still has a spot though. He's still there for the defense buff. So yeah, that's Gala Luca again. Is he worth summoning though? I honestly cannot recommend you to summon him with all of these limited banners we just had and we're going to have, and he's going to stay on the Gala Dragalias anyways. I cannot recommend that you summon straight up for Gala Luca if you already have a Yachio or already a light unit built up for High Zod. I just can't recommend summoning for Gala Luca. You also need to remember, if you're struggling with High Zod, we're going to be getting a 10-minute timer plus revives. So if you're struggling in High Zod, maybe wait till those changes take into effect. Maybe you're going to be able to clear with those changes into effect. Who knows? Maybe you want to play with an actual pre-made group. You could talk to us on Discord or talk with anybody on Discord. It doesn't even have to be my Discord. Talk with anybody on Discord, on anybody's streams, anything like that. Ask for help. See if you can clear High Zod that way. So again, personally, I would not recommend summoning for Gala Luca. Again, we just had 2 limited banners, Christmas, New Year's. We just had a great win banner. Now this is Gala Dragalia. We're going to be having Monster Hunter and Valentine's after that. And then again, Gala Luca staying on all the Gala Dragalias after that. So I cannot recommend that you summon for Gala Luca. However, I do think he's going to be good. Zen looks amazing. If Gala Luca is your waifu or husbando, Gala Luca your waifu. If Gala Luca is your waifu and you want to summon for your waifu, then go ahead, summon for Gala Luca. I can't stop you. This game is to be enjoyed. It's to be have fun. If Fort was in the game, but she was trash, I would still summon for Fort because it's Fort, dude. Like I can't not summon for Fort, So if that's how you feel about Gala Luca, by all means, go for it. He's going to be a great unit. What I think, at least, he's going to be a great unit. Probably not A++ tier, but he's probably going to be very, very strong in his own regard. So that's my thoughts on Gala Luca. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you going to summon? Are you not going to summon? How much Wormite do you have saved? All our Wormite's going to go away, boys. We have so many nice banners recently. It's just absolutely insane. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have a great day, and until next time, have a nice trip.